everyone, and welcome back to the English Shooting live stream. I have to give a quick warning straight away that something really funky is going on with my internet. Everything seems to be stable, so please bear with me if there's any glitches. Hopefully it will sort itself out in due course. So yes, obviously a lot of usuals this evening, so thank you very much for joining the stream and joining in. For anyone new, thank you. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already. But this is an opportunity to talk about all things shooting. We've got a few hot topics from this week's shooting news, and we'll go through those. But any questions or topics you want to bring up and have a discussion, well, there's a chat segment, so use that. And of course, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're not already to the channel. And yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, I see a few people saying it's a little bit laggy. It's recovering, it's just I can see the bit rate going up and down. Hopefully it's I think it might be Google Drive that's killed it all, but I've killed Google Drive, so that seems to make everything better. So anyways, getting straight into the main sort of topic, the headline topic for this evening. Some of you may have already seen this from Field Sports Britain, but there was a music video that was recently, I think recently released, or I'm saying recently released. When was it? I mean, November last year, November 2020. So within the last few months, let's just say. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the article, basically the band is called the Lounge Society. The song is called Burn the Heather. That might start giving you a little bit of a hint about what's going on in it. And it's quite clearly an anti-shooting, I would say more anti like hunting and game shooter sort of video. And I'm going to show you little clips of it. Of course, I've got to be careful because otherwise if I show too much, then you get into copyright and all that. So let me just bring that up. So you can see the title of the video here, The Lounge Society Burn the Heather. Now, when you get to the end of the video, and you won't be able to hear it, trust me, you're not missing much. You can obviously see, they're giving the exaggerated, rich, tough sort of look of things. Obviously this is how a game shoot always is. Obviously, they've obviously never been on one, but yeah, you can see there's the band at the end of the video, and they end up shooting the party. Let's skip to it. Oh, we just skipped a little bit too far. And of course, some blue Tory blood as well for good dramatic effect. So very anti-right wing, very anti-conservative, very anti sort of countryside, and the like. Now, I'm not going to necessarily defend it because there's a lot of things about this that I really don't like. And obviously, as I'm sure you can imagine, I detest sort of this just general easy win for people on the left to, and it's not just on the left, but just the anti-gun brigade, the anti-hunting brigade, and all that. It's just it's like so cliche. If you want an easy win for the popular vote, go after the Conservatives, go after Tories, go after game shooters. It's like it's an easy target, all right. It's like find something else. This has been done a million times. It's nothing new. Get over yourselves. However, giving a bit of reflection, when Field Sports actually talked about this video in their article, they didn't actually truly represent what the video was. So if we that's the end of it, and that's basically what Field Sports Britain is going off and on about. Like, look, there's some harmless, defenseless game shooters having their 11s, and these mass murderers come up and just kill them all. But what they don't really talk about is actually it's sort of balanced in a way, which is they're out doing their game shoot first. This is earlier on in the video, and they actually shoot the band. So there's images of the bands being shot. If I can find one. So it's sort of like they kill the band. I guess the band is sort of portraying themselves as the grouse, and then the band take revenge. So it's a little bit eye for an eye. Two wrongs don't make a right, obviously, but that's the general balance of it. So it's not necessarily they just go out game shoot hunting, or game shooter hunting. They are provoked or attacked first within this video for a little bit of balance. However, the sort of the overarching, I think that's probably enough before I get done for copyright there. But what's even funnier in a bigger picture on this is you can go and watch the video yourself. Again, I don't want to go and show too much. It's just so you can go and watch it. It's the Lounge Society Burn the Heather. Now, this video has lots of death in it, right? It's got guns in it that are being used to kill people on both sides. The whole band dies, and then miraculously they come back from the dead, and then they shoot, these countryside toffs. And it's like, just because this is a music video, this is okay. It's art, it's expression. Using guns in a quite a obviously violent way, and quite obviously trying to promote or potentially go as far as saying encourage violence against shooters, against hunters, against game shooters. And YouTube seemed to be completely fine with this sort of video. They it's a music video, and okay, when you look at the likes of NWA or Dr. Dre or Eminem and Marilyn Manson and stuff like that, well, that's probably not the best example in the end there at the moment. But anyway, those sorts of videos, they are there to shock. They're very extreme. A lot of those videos have got banned over the years. But when it comes to legal gun owners, when it comes to legal firearms ownership, the line is so much sort of closer. The line is so much easier to step over. You show any ammunition being made, you show any modifications to guns, and even when you're breaking down a gun and showing the internals of it and how it works, YouTube thinks that's far too close to the line and ban it, because it's like, well, someone could make a gun from your video, and it's like, well, if someone can make a gun from one of my videos, then you got bigger problems, basically. And it's this disparity, it's this uneven way in which the community guidelines are enforced. When you go for monetization on YouTube, there's now a huge checklist, a huge many different subheadings that you have to declare that none of your video doesn't have any of this in, and there is a firearms section. But as long as you click, look, it's just firearms being used in a safe environment in a lawful way, YouTube doesn't seem to have a problem with it. But again, you don't have to do that much. Like, take live streaming, for example. All you have to do is be holding a gun on a live stream, and your channel can get striked, your live stream can get taken down. Meanwhile, you have this poxy little band encouraging this sort of Tory Labour divide, this the them and us divide, and that you should go out there, steal their guns and shoot them with them. And this is a message that YouTube are completely okay with showing. So whilst I don't think this is necessarily just a outright there go and it's all about the band going out and killing these people, or they've obviously got a message there. They don't like grouse shooting, they don't like the burning of the heather. There's people far more experienced on that subject to explain why it is a good thing overall for those areas and countryside. But it's born out of ignorance. It's born out of a lack of education on the subject matter, and I think Field Sports Britain unfortunately have made it oh look, they're attacking us again. At the end of the day, it's not a popular thing. Thank you, Xbox One geeks, much appreciated. At the end of the day, you're doing something that everyone knows is unpopular, and whilst you can say that about shooting in general and firearms ownership in general, and that's sort of like opening up the floodgates for attack, like, you're going out there and shooting the whole, and I've talked about this on the channel before in terms of hunting and in terms of game shooting. Now, I've been game shooting now, I've been on a few shoots, I've experienced quite a bit of it, and I'm, in a way, I don't feel comfortable with it, but I enjoy it. Like, it is a fun activity to go and do. But I can understand why people would have something against going out and, in a way, needlessly killing a load of birds. At the end of the day, you are killing far more on a game day, well, the bigger bag days, than you are ever going to eat. And when you start to talk about sustainability and all that, and whilst many game shoots are now selling the food off to put it out into the restaurant market, out into the food market, using game dealers. Big shoots that are doing like 500 plus bag days. Some are doing 1,000 bag days. You can't say that's sustainable. You can't say that is, you're going out there hunting for your food. So you can understand why people have something against it. I don't think it justifies a video like this, and I don't think YouTube are necessarily balanced in letting something like this go. But where do you stop within art? I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, Connor's had the suggestion that perhaps all of my videos should now be music videos, and I mean, the subscriber rate is going to fall completely off because I cannot sing and I have no musical ability whatsoever. But is it okay? Should I show you how to make hand load ammunition or home load ammunition if I sing a song to it, because it's artistic expression? Should I be showing you how to disassemble your 1522 and do various competition modifications if I make it into a play or a theatrical performance? It's just, again, one rule for them, one rule for us. But there is a general bigger problem, certainly within the countryside, with violence against shooters. And you see it more, again, because people are taking part in activities that are more disliked and people get rubbed up the wrong way about. Yes, you get people that are anti-gun, they just don't want anyone to have guns. But most people, you get people that are anti-gun, they just don't want anyone to have guns. But most people don't care that you're going down the range and putting some holes in paper, or going and breaking some clay pigeons, or shooting some steel targets if you're doing a bit of practical. But there are a lot more people that have a detest for the enjoyment of killing animals, and that's where the real violence sort of stems from. You look at the hunt saboteurs that are quite literally countryside terrorists, masking up. I mean, I guess they're ahead of the curve with the masks, but they've got their black gear on and balaclavas, and the thing that's always said time and time again is, if you don't feel you're doing something wrong, why do you need to cover your face? If you want to have some sort of constructive protest or discussion about it, or you want to make a constructive point, why come and commit trespass and vandalism and threaten people and try and startle horses, try and drive over dogs? I mean, there's been all of like the top people within all of these organizations, from the League Against Cruel Sports, from the Hunt Saboteurs, like a lot of the senior people have some serious criminal records. There was a whole kennels that was set fire to, like dozens and dozens of dogs, and these people are meant to be sympathetic to animals. They're meant to be about protecting animals, but okay, they're hunting dogs, therefore set fire to them, they can burn alive. And there's countless stories of people going out for a couple of pigeons, doing a little bit of crop protection, so on and so forth, and they are confronted by hunt saboteurs. They're confronted by people that don't like hunting, don't like shooting, and they end up they end up threatening them, they end up bullying them, and it's something that we need to be aware of. You need to be conscious of if you're going out with guns. I mean, there's an issue potentially with your FAC. If someone approaches you and is and you're holding a shotgun, and someone is violent towards you and is aggressive, not necessarily you're in fear for your life, but you're in possession and in charge of a firearm. Like, what do they think is potentially going to happen if you go around threatening people with guns? But because of the way it is within the UK, you have to try and get out of there, and if you're outnumbered, it leaves you very little options, and it can be quite a frightening. You're sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't, and you can become very vulnerable out in the countryside. And then obviously you have the likes of gypsies out there committing all sorts of crime out in the countryside, and again committing violence to shooters because they may want their gun, they may want their ammunition, so on and so forth. So it is a problem. There is most still definitely this them and us divide in terms of the countryside and game shooters, and this video just depicts it brilliantly in terms of the exaggeration of what these days are like, and the exaggeration of the sort of people that are there. And again, to think it's okay to, you know, sort of knowingly encourage, you know, and provoke people to go out and commit further violence by a video like this, I don't think is on. So anyway, that's about it. Yeah, no, mum. Yeah, please no. Trust me, I have more embarrassing videos of you if you want to share that. Anyway, my internet seems to be holding up, or I've got a spinny thing of death on my preview one. But yeah, so that's the general premise of it in terms of the headline. Topic tonight. Have any of you guys ever felt threatened while being out there rough shooting? Have you guys ever experienced any violence towards you because you are a shooter? I mean, you know, talking about, you know, people out on their own, out in the field. The main violence, I think, and the main you know, obviously with the hunt saboteurs, their main thing is fox hunting. And unfortunately, I think a lot of shooters end up ring fenced in the sort of the same community, and people will get attacked, you know, just going out, you know, if you're on your land shooting some clays, even throwing some clays, they see a gun, they might see a bit of tweed, and they end up roping you all together. And again, you got to be careful while you're out there on your own. Stalkers, you know, people, I'm sure many stalkers out there have come across, you know, angry walkers and dog walkers and so on and so forth, because they see a rifle, they know that you're out there to kill something, they may not agree with that thing being killed, despite not knowing that it's all part of the conservation effort. Yeah, at the end of the day, the National Trust shoot deer on their property because they know it has to be done. So yeah, that's about it for that. And guys are just you're just talking about Robbie Williams now. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Is it still laggy? Is it still... I honestly don't know what's going on. It's been brilliant the past few weeks. I think there's a general issue with the internet this evening. Someone's got PlusNet. No, it's Virgin, thank you very much. Do I look poor? So no, I don't know. There's something odd going on over on the Tinterweb this evening. I'm going to try and move this over to a different Wi-Fi on my preview one, see if that helps things out. Probably not. But anyway, it is what it is. Can't do anything more about it. Facebook Messenger is down, by the way. It's saying excellent connection, so I don't know why it's stuttery. Yeah, Facebook Messenger is down today. If anyone's wondering why your phone isn't buzzing as it may normally be, I use Facebook Messenger a lot. I think pretty much everyone I speak to or message. I've never used texts, but Facebook Messenger is not working. So we're all doomed. The internet is going down. So there's only one thing for it. You know, if the connection drops, it's all right. I've got a beer. The less you move, Gary, the better it is. I think it's your cam link, Arius. I've had a few. I had a real issue this afternoon with it. It just really wasn't wanting to connect. So I don't know if it's the camera in the wrong setting. Anyway, let's see if it improves. But anyway, so yes, the Albert Smith, never been confronted in 20 years of stalking. Maybe you're just good. You're just too good. You know, you blend in with the environment too well, and they can't see you. Have you played with night vision? Yes, there was. Again, it was Arius from Outdoor Technica brought down the. He's gonna know what it's called. It's like the. Is it like the Aurorus or? I can't remember the name, but it's like a budget night vision camera. And it did a decent job. I did film a video for it with Arius. We actually went out with a gamekeeper to look for foxes. We didn't find anything, and the footage wasn't that good. Not the footage from this device, the general video wasn't that good, so it never went out. But I had a play with that. Again, the same gamekeeper. He's had endless night vision and thermal imaging cameras, so we've had a little bit of play with that, and a few friends have various let's just say oddly acquired military items, and we've played around with that as well. So I've had a little bit of an exposure. Night vision doesn't really do anything for me. You know, I'm not a hunter, I'm not a stalker, I'm you know, I'm not planning to, you know, I'm not planning for anything other than just going sport shooting. So why else would I need it? I mean, you know, for the Froome night shoots, maybe that would be pretty cool. You turn up and you know, get your night vision on. It might give you a little bit of a, a tactical advantage during the competition. But yeah, it's not a subject that I know huge amounts about. That's it. It's the Sonics. I swear I got this name wrong. No, it's the Psionics Aurora. Is that how it is? It's saying my bit rate's too low. I don't know what's going on. It's been weeks. It's been fine, and then today it just shits the bed. I just generally think there's something up with the internet this evening. It's because everyone's at home, lockdown, where you should be, I guess. But yeah, anyway, moving on, there's actually a bigger bit of news, and the reason I didn't want to make this sort of the opening topic and potentially the main topic, although we may be talking about this a little bit longer, is because I will be doing an in-depth video once more information is about, or, you know, it depends how long that takes. I may get impatient and make the video anyway. But some pretty big UK shooting news happened, well, this week at some point. I don't know the exact day, but many of you will be aware of Ely ammunition. They make 2.2 rimfire predominantly. It's what all the Olympics, you know, gold medalists uses, and of course they've recently moved into practical shooting. So they've got their action, their so their Ely action. Is it the Ely Force? Action, and is it Action Plus? Again, I'm a CCI shooter, not an Ely shooter, so I don't know their full range. But anyway, they are like the kings in the UK for 2.2 ammunition and across the world as well. You know, they're competing with ammunition manufacturers like CCI, so that sort of says what level they're at. And unfortunately, there was a lorry carrying 300,000 rounds of ammunition that got broken into and had 300,000 rounds of ammunition stolen, which, like, logistically, just to do that would be pretty, you know, like the amount of time it's going to take to move 300,000 rounds. So the information that's out there at the moment, there was a story on it. So it's on not that story. There's another one. Where is it? Oh, here we go. So I'll bring this up on the screen for you. It is unfortunately The Sun, but as of going live today, this was the only newspaper that had anything on it. So there we go. Organised criminals steal 300,000 rounds of live ammunition from lorry while driver was asleep. And obviously the guy's parked up during his, you know, for those of you that don't know, within the UK and I think Europe, our lorry drivers are required to take a mandatory break. They're not allowed to drive over a certain number of hours. So he would have had to have pulled over and had his mandatory break, and unfortunately during that break it's been broken into. Now obviously, you know, 2.2, you know, any ammunition going missing is going to be bad, right? And so I just get that out there straight away. But 2.2, it's not exactly the criminal's round of choice, so in that way it mitigates the potential carnage that could be caused. Like if it was 300,000 rounds of 9mm, then, you know, there's a lot more guns out there that criminals are carrying that are going to take 9mm rather than 2.2 rimfire. So yeah, Blackstone, I mean, like the number, so I was going to get into cost in a minute, but you're saying 1 or 2 pallets. At the end of the day, they, you know, 300,000 rounds sounds a lot, right? But, you know, imagine, you know, a brick of 1,000 rounds is probably, you know, like that, you know, so you get them in 500 and say in CCI, and they're like that, and the Ely bricks and 500 are like that. So 300 sort of that sort of size, it's actually not a huge amount in terms of actual volume. And in terms of weight, if you've got a few guys, you could probably shift that pretty quickly. Now, I've seen a lot of people come out, and actually there's been like a little bit of anger or a bit of hostility towards Ely, like, you know, or what the hell are you guys doing? Don't you have security? Don't you take precautions? Why is a driver sat there with 300,000 rounds in the back of his lorry and he's taken a nap? Now, let's not forget that Ely is one of, if not the largest ammunition manufacturer in the UK. They are Section 5, as well as having obviously all the other explosives and other licenses. Like, a company like Ely is not going to be taking shortcuts with their security. I know for a fact they are going to be taking at worst case, the minimum required security or minimum recommendation from the police in terms of the security that they should take. And this is when you boil it down. If it's like 2 pallets low, 2 pallets of ammunition, again, that could be, whilst it says a lorry, 2 pallets you can fit into a back of a van. It doesn't seem, whilst the number 300,000 rounds, and again, this is the sum we're talking about, they've gone for the most shocking figure. 300,000 rounds sounds a lot. I've heard from people that have been out back in the NSRA that they, at the Lord Roberts Centre, their shop, they have more than that. They have pallets upon pallets upon pallets. Do you see armed guards at the NSRA? And I mean, I've been with a club where we've bought 20,000 rounds in one go. Did we escort that with 2 burly guys out the building because it was 20,000 rounds? And again, that if that had gone missing, and I know plenty of people that have had 20,000 rounds worth of limit on their FAC. If 20,000 rounds went missing, that would be a nice little headline for the likes of the Sun and the Daily Mail, wouldn't it? So yes, in terms of quantity, it sounds really bad, but actually when you boil it down, Ely is going to be transporting millions and millions of rounds every single year without issue, without fault. And I don't think that they've done anything wrong here. Will they learn from it? Absolutely they will. They're not going to want this to happen again. It's not, and when you boil it down in terms of the monetary value, now they're most likely insured, so that is probably going to be covered. But even if you look at 10x, which is the most expensive 2.2 round that Ely does, 300,000 rounds of 10x at RRP is roughly about £70,000. Now, again, transporting £70,000 worth of goods, that's not that out of the ordinary. You think about shipments of iPhones, you think about laptops, other electronic goods. In terms of a lorry full of stuff, it's pretty easy to get to £70,000 worth. And if it's some of the cheaper stuff, then at their bottom end of the range, then it's about £20,000 worth of ammunition. So in monetary wise, it's not a huge amount. Not necessarily. I'm not saying it's not going to hurt. I don't think there's many people out there that can sort of just go, oh, okay, you're right, it's 20 grand or 70 grand. I'm just going to write that off. But for a company the size of Ely, it's going to be a bad week. It's going to potentially be a bad month, but it's not going to be the end of their year. So I think they will learn from it. We were discussing this in the office. I think the easiest fix overall is going to be potentially having 2 drivers. So they don't need to stop, so whilst one is resting, I don't necessarily know if this is permissible under the lorry driving or heavy goods sort of rules, but whilst one's sleeping, one can be driving, or at the very least, if one does need to stop and sleep, you have somebody that then stays awake in the cab, so that if they hear anything out the back, they're going to be able to phone the police and stop it. So I think this goes without saying, but if any of you guys see out there cheap ammunition or maybe suspicious adverts for ammunition, or people just sort of randomly or out of the blue within clubs, within forums on Facebook, trying to shift large amounts of ammunition, keep your ears, keep your eyes open, keep your keep your ear to the ground, as it were. And as a community, if we can pick up on maybe a few tidbits, we might be able to provide valuable information to the police or Ely to maybe recover, or at the very least find somebody, find the people responsible for this, because this isn't potluck. I mean, it potentially could, in a way. It's like a parked lorry, people people have a go, you get opportunists, but an opportunist criminal going and finding 300,000 rounds, like I would imagine an opportunist is probably going to grab a few boxes and hightail it out of there. The fact that also, I know again it's the Sun, you know, the pinnacle of factual news reporting, but they're already saying organized criminals, so there must have been some organization to it. It does sound more like it would be a targeted you know, a targeted attack. At the end of the day, it's quite easy to find where Ely is, and then, you know, potentially all you have to do is wait outside, watch the lorries coming and going, follow a few lorries, you know, and find out where they stop, where they go usually, and then build a plan from there. So I'm sure they will react to it. I'm sure there will be changes made, but we'll have to see, you know, see what comes of it. But there's very little information. I did contact a couple of people. One I thought was still at Ely, then they're no longer at Ely, and somebody who I didn't know was at Ely that I happen to know, and that works there. Neither of them are able to comment, either through not having any information, or obviously, you know, it's an ongoing criminal investigation. But as more information comes out, I will be doing a more structured video on it, but this is reasonably new news. I think it only came out yesterday. So yeah, I really hope that they find the ammunition. Again, whilst it may be not the criminal's choice of ammunition, you know, 2.2 rimfire, a 2.2 rimfire can still kill. You know, it's still lethal. You still, mini rifle exemption aside, you still require a license here in the UK, or a certificate to be able to possess and to be able to buy it. You don't want people running around with that much ammunition. Are we going to start seeing criminals having 2-2 wars against each other? Probably not, because guess what? Like we talk about with all the other ammunition restrictions, you still need a gun to be able to fire the ammunition. And at the end of the day, 300,000 rounds of ammunition being out there in the ether sounds very scary, but it's only scary if they have the guns to be able to put it in. So, you know, I'm sure the police are doing absolutely everything they can to get it back and find who's responsible, because, you know, these sorts of criminals are not the sort of criminals that this was a one-off. They're going to be involved in serious crime, and yeah, we have to see where that goes, and I'll keep you guys updated. Again, Paul Mags, you think it would be more secure, wouldn't you? I mean, as we've just been saying, not really. You know, again, in terms of the monetary value, it's not a huge amount of money for a shipping container. In terms of ammunition, actually, it's not a huge shipment. I mean, Ely would be selling, you know, you think about a shipping container and how much 2.2 you could fill a shipping container with. When they're sending stuff abroad, they're going to be sending more than a few pallets worth, aren't they? They are going to be potentially sending millions of rounds. Perhaps there's this is why I wanted to get in contact with them and potentially find what sort of security arrangements they have. But perhaps, let's say anything under half a million rounds, they don't have, you know, an escort, or they don't have a security guard in the cab. You don't know. And, you know, this might have been just a regular delivery to a gun shop. It might be a regular delivery, you know, to somewhere like the Lord Roberts Centre. And this is going to be happening, you know, this is the first time that I'm aware of that something like this has happened. You know, and how many other, again, millions of rounds have they shipped all over the country, all over the world without issue to date? So, you know, I don't think, again, they've done anything wrong here. I'm pretty sure they're going to be following the guidance. They're Section 5 at the end of the day. They are within the firearms industry. You're held to a high standard. You know, it's just, I think, an unfortunate thing, you know, and I'm sure they'll learn from it. I'm sure they'll bring in changes, but, you know, I don't think they're necessarily at fault. At the end of the day, criminals are going to criminal, aren't they? They're going to always find a way. You know, you end up putting 2 drivers in the cab, they'll find a way. You know, like there was a spate, I don't know if it's still a problem anymore, but remember, you know, when my grandparents were still alive and they were going, you know, camping, you know, the camper van that they used to go to Europe in, there was a spate of people using Easy Start. I think it's Easy Start, and they would shove it inside of the vents of the cab, gas the inside, and, you know, and it doesn't kill you, it knocks you out, or certainly makes you very very dizzy and disorientated, and they would put it, you know, squeeze it through the vents, knock the people out inside, and then go and break in, because once they're out cold inside, you can make as much noise and cause as much destruction as you want, get inside, take all the valuables and make off. Now, you know, you start having security guards and extra people inside the cab. Well, do the criminals start escalating it? Do they start, you know, is there a threat of violence then used? Are they going to use other methods to potentially, you know, bound up the drivers so that they can get in the back and take all the ammunition? So, you know, Simon Foster, yeah, good luck trying to get security information from an ammunition manufacturer. I know, I mean, I could only ask the question. I mean, the lag, I honestly don't know what is causing the lag this evening. I've changed no settings. I did have a few issues getting the camera connected today, but I don't know. I don't know how to. I honestly don't know. I can start trying to restart stuff, and then I might lose the stream. So I apologize. I'll have a bit of a play. I really think it's the internet connection. There's something funky going on, because again, I haven't changed any settings and it's usually been pretty stable. But anyway, we'll the lag is wild. Okay, I really don't know what I can do. And again, unfortunately, it's like it's already live. It's very hard to do stuff after it's live, unless I can have a look at. I know there is a lag, like you can build in lag. No, no. I honestly don't know. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I never ignore you, sinner. It's just there's lots of people. Captain Crack, the criminals seem to prefer shotguns and 9mm. Absolutely. Well, again, you know, people saying about, you know, of course it's Section 1, right? The Section 1 ammunition, it's held on a higher certificate. There is increased security for Section 1 ammunition. But how many millions of rounds of shotgun ammunition is being transported? Now, again, that's not, it's you only need a license to be able to buy it, or a certificate to be able to buy it, not possess it. Now, of course, theft is theft, so it doesn't matter what you're stealing. Stealing it is still illegal. But criminals could be in possession of shotgun ammunition without facing any sort of prosecution. So it's you know, no one's sort of saying, well, should we start putting armed guards on shotgun ammunition lorries and shotgun ammunition vans? You know, so it's, yes, it's still Section 1 ammunition. It's a lot worse in terms of the legal standpoint, but yeah. And BBC, like, I don't know why this isn't bigger. You know, to be honest, I don't know why it's only been the Sun that has picked up on it. It's yeah, I honestly don't know. So some people, I do know that sometimes that it can get lag, or there can be a bit of delay or differential actually in YouTube. So try refreshing the page. I've like that sometimes helps. Sam Davison, do you still like the Alcan Spectre? Yes, I thought it was a great optic. I opted not to, so the one that I actually had was offered to me to buy, and I opted not to. I really do think I'm gonna still carry on trying different optics, but I really can't find anything. I can find optics that are better at certain sort of line items, or certain, you know, like in terms of field of view or clarity or weight and things like that. I can find things singular that are better than the Razor HD, but I can't actually find anything at the moment that is all round better. So it's like, you know, the Trijicon MRO HD, although again I would go for the is it MRO? MRO, you know what I mean. I'm losing it this evening. Refreshing it still, bro. I don't know. I can try switching cameras. Let's give the Sony a little bit of a break. It's gonna get horrible quality for a minute. I'll try rebooting the Sony for a sec. Let's This is probably going to go horribly wrong. Right, there we go. Oh my god. Yeah, that's what I look like. So let's switch that. Let's switch it back to cam. Is that any better at all? Is it? I don't know. Maybe. I'll put that back over. Yes, I do. I'm not paranoid, but well, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me. So everyone sees the stickers over my webcam. My webcam's right, and they go, "Who do you think is going to be spying on you?" And it's not about me spying, like anyone spying on me. It's about oh god, what's going on in Discord? It's the fact that I go live every single week, and I have literally watched Neil Ragg from Rack and Load pick his nose, not knowing that he was live. So that's what. God, what are you guys? If my internet's funny, going on Discord is gonna kill the connection. So, yep, yeah, it's killed it. Can't do it. It's just I absolutely flatlined it. I honestly don't know what's sucking up the internet, and now it's just saying it's royally killed my connection. So I don't, if I'm even live anymore. Am I even here? What even are we? Richard, yes, I absolutely should be using the Zeiss lens. We were for a while. With the old setup that we had in the gun room, because that actually had a Canon mount to it. I still need to buy an adapter for the Sony to be able to use that lens, but it gets plenty of use on the Canon, for like general photos and stuff like that. The Canon's sort of my general go-to, grab it and go. The Sony tends to sort of sit in one spot and be for just specific videos. Yes, I'm worried about Neil's nose picking. I can't go on to Discord. It really is the internet. I don't know what's going on this evening, but if I go on it, what happens if I kill Google? Maybe it's Google. Maybe it's Chrome. I don't know. It makes it a bit boring if I can't use the internet. But yeah, I mean, I was planning to do a lot of. Can I go on Discord here, or does that affect it? At least I can see it rather than you guys, because I do need to vet whatever gets put in Discord. I do need to vet before I put live on the stream. So yeah, anyway, overall I hope Ely get the ammunition back. I hope they find the scumbags that stolen it. Oh Jesus Christ. What is your guys' obsession? Is this like next level, like wank material or something? I mean, if I'm gonna say I don't look too bad, like I'm pretty happy with that gender swap. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, some bright spark has decided to turn me into a woman. Yep, that's right. As if one of me wasn't enough. The issue, Simon, is I can go and restart the router, the stream will go. Like I can't, and the YouTube has a really annoying way of doing things, which is like once you've started a stream, if you stop it, like you have to start a whole new stream. You can't really just drop in and drop in out. I'm getting like live tech support here. This is the EnglishShooting tech support channel. I don't know what you actually came here for. I genuinely think it's just my internet. I don't think the restarting the router is going to do anything. I've seen in a couple of our local community groups that that Virgin Internet's been a bit meh recently. I don't know what to do. Was it better? Tiger, I would hit Gary. Oh joy. Well, you have to pay. Maybe if you tip, and only for a second. You make a pretty good bird, to be fair. I mean, I've had worse compliments. I have to admit. Get the app. No, I'm not doing it. The app's still like I can't show the app on here still, can I? Don't say router. You'll have the Aussies worried. Oh dear. We just have to come. We come here just to have a nice chat and abuse and bully me. Why I still do this, I don't know. I'm not afraid of the apps. I just prefer the desktop. Like, I find typing, I find typing and writing incredibly difficult, right? Because I'm definitely more on the math spectrum than the English spectrum. That's for sure. And sat there all evening on a fucking phone. I know you can get the desktop app and all that, but it would just be open the whole time. At least like when it gets a bit too much on the Discord, at least I can close it and just like take a breather. The amount of civil servants watching the channel for tips. Yes. Anyway, the plan was to. Do I risk it? Do I try Discord? Is it just going to drop out again? Come on, internet, you can do it. If it goes, I'm sorry. Oh, it's going. It's killing. It's dying. Let's have a quick look in Discord, shall we? While the connection. If the connection goes, I'm sorry. This was going to be one of the topics. Obviously, there's more things to talk about in the Discord this evening. So for those of you that fancy me as a woman, you're about to see something rather horrific. So for which I apologise. Apparently, just some people are into this sort of stuff. Why is it only showing half of it? There we go. Yeah, just shows that. So yeah, this is what people like to do in their spare time. I mean, if I'm not too careful, I might have to save that one for later, if I'm going to be completely honest. But anyway, we were going to talk about memes go crazy. Oh, yes. Oh, would you look at that? Actually, if you're saying about lag, if there's a lag between the video and the audio, if I just don't show the video, then it should be much better, right? So yeah, I don't know particularly why I stopped on this one. It just sort of took my fancy, and certainly cannot be unseen. Jane Thorne. I wonder if that's any relationship to a certain Mr. Thorne. Anyway, and come on, I'm waiting for Daniel. I know there's one of Daniel here. Oh, Peppy, or Pappy, or even pray for Pappy, especially with a haircut like that. Where are we? Oh god. Yes, and now the memes begin. Let's start at the top, shall we? So for oh god. So for some reason, I don't know when it started, but someone managed to for some reason sent a picture of my face distorted within the Discord. By the way, if someone could put the Discord link in case there's any of you sick and twisted people out there that want to get involved in all of this, someone put the link in there so people can go and join. So yes, this, fairly, okay, yep, funny distorted photo of me. This is maybe already taking it a little bit too far. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I don't really get that reference, if I'm going to be honest. Yeah, you can see why this place can get a little bit too much at times. This is one of my personal favorites, I have to admit. Really choked when I saw this. And this one I was like, why has people just put a picture of a Porsche? And then I realized, hello. This one took a few moments to recover from, if I'm going to be completely honest. It is just sort of perfect, and will definitely be used many times again. Anyway, moving on. This is pretty good. I do like that. I'm sure Connors does as well. That was pretty funny, and then yeah, no, no, it's not happening. Actually, what you'll find is that is the elite package right there that I'm reviewing, only for elite competition shooters. This I won't stay too long on that. Yeah, pretty much. This is pretty much the live stream. So anyone new to the live stream, this is pretty much what goes on every single time. Just needless repetitive bullying. I think this is the piece de resistance. let's have a look. This coming to a cinema near you. Starring English Gary, saving Callum's FAC renewal, co-starring Mr. Maglode and the Crap Magnet. I'm sure you can guess who's who on that one. In association with Northwest Chinese Parts, Landcrap and Silverstone Shooting Centre, distributed by Hampshire Firearms Licensing Department. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think this is necessarily helping my application, but moving on. I have to admit, it was a little funny finding that Hampshire has now become a meme. Hampshire Constabulary is now a meme. They probably don't know what a meme is, especially when they labelled certain forums as forums of extremism, and yes, because what people write of their own free will on an open platform, that is of course my responsibility. This, I think that this was it. This is where it peaked for me. So yeah, Hampshire Firearms now a meme, and we've been all through that. You definitely don't want to be seeing that again. So anyway, back to the laggy camera. That's enough of a meme. That's all I can take for one evening. Anyway, go and check out the Discord. You won't regret it. You definitely will regret it. 100% will regret it. I still don't know why I'm in there. And now I've got a load of notifications from it, so fuck knows what else is going on at the moment. Anyway, moving on. Shall we get back into like guns and shooting, shall we? And actually, the next point's about knives. So no. So anyway, guys, the video that went out. I like to always sort of recap the videos that have gone out, or video as it was this week. The knife video is actually doing like surprisingly well, and it's one of these things I thought, I haven't actually seen like a full explanation of it myself, so why not do a bit of research and put it out. Of course, there was a number of people saying a few things were in essence what the law is, but in actual, like, people saying like you shouldn't take a knife to a pub. That's not what the Home Office say, so I don't know where else it might say that, and so on and so forth. Again, I say in the videos loads of times, be sensible about it. Don't take the piss. But yeah, there's a video if you want to learn more about UK knife laws. There's a whole video on it that went out on the channel this week, so you can go and learn a little bit more. But I don't know if I did talk a little bit in the video about my collection. There is actually a knife. I think I've put a picture out of it before. There is a knife that was missing from the collection at the time. I've now put it pride of place, and it's this. And you might be thinking that's not a knife. That's the worst Australian accent I've ever done. But this in fact is a knife in the shape of an AR-15. And I might have shown this on a previous stream, I don't know. But Connor's actually got this, I think it was for my birthday this year. And it breaks down. It actually, you can press the trigger, as it were. And then, oh God, it's a bit fiddly. And I'm desperately trying not to cut myself. And there you go, there's a little scalpel. And of course, I'm use a scalpel pretty much every single day with what I do. And then it's got little tools. You can pull the magazine out, and you've actually got a little flathead on there. So yeah, I mean vaguely gun related because it's in the shape of a gun. I can never remember how to put this back together. And the coolest thing overall, oh yeah, that's right, the barrel itself is actually another screwdriver, a little Allen key. So yeah, not the most practical scalpel, but it's a knife. It's part of the collection, but it comes in. If you guys are interested, it's 3-coil. I don't know if that's focusing there. Come on, 3-coil. If you're interested in one of those, like pretty much anyone that's into their knives or shooting. Can you give me moderate? Yes, I can. I guess I can trust you. What about I make you a moderator of here and you make me a moderator of the Discord and we have some real fun. But yeah, if you do anything to my channel, I will hurt you. But there you go, Captain. You should be now a moderator, and you can post. Oh, that's right. I guess Ollie's not here because Ollie normally does it. Yeah. So anyway, the AR-15 scalpel comes in its little own case. But yeah, I don't know if you guys were interested in any of the other knives. I'm going to go through them anyway because there's a delay, and I'm just going to assume you do. So I've just shown you. Let's go right to left. I'm not hugely into my knives, but it's growing. The addiction is getting bigger. So actually, there's this knife here. This is what I show in the video. That's the CRKT Journeyer. That's what I have in my pocket every single day. We've got the AR-15 scalpel. This is a souvenir knife. I don't think, apart from opening vape juice bottles, I've ever really used it for any meaningful purpose. But you'll probably see why. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Come on, camera, you can do it. Is that focus? Can you see it? So this is an official CZ knife, bought in the CZ shop out in Prague. Well, in the Czech. Is it Prague? Yeah, in Prague, in the Czech Republic. Of course, CZ. It's unfortunately a locking knife. It's got a locking mechanism, so unless you have a valid reason for work or whatever, not able to carry it. But it was something like €15, and it was one of the cheapest things in the shop to buy as a souvenir, and it was a knife, so I got it. This is probably actually the oldest knife that I've got, and it's being completely honest, it's complete junk. You can even see I've snapped the tip off of it. But this, I used to go fishing quite a lot down on Chesil Beach, West Bexington, down in Dorset. And as a kid, this was my fishing knife. This is what I would have in the van and take out. Again, it's a locking knife, so can't be carried, unfortunately. But this is like, it's probably the cheapest knife I've got here, but it's one of the most sentimental because it's like my first knife. It's almost like, little tykes, right? This I talked about in the video. I can't. It's the Lansky. I didn't actually know in the video what it was called. So Lansky knife. These seem to be really popular. Loads of people saying that they have one of these. This was actually another gift from Connors. He treats me well, doesn't he? So he gave that to me. It's unfortunately got a bit of chocolate cake stain on it at the moment. I really need to look after the knives better. A buck knife. This was a Christmas present from Alex at Blue Field Sports. Connors and I have a matching one of these from him, although I think Connors is I think he has a wooden or like a brown handle, and I have the black handle. Nice little knife, little hunting knife. Comes in a pouch as well, so I tend, like, if I go on game shoots, that's what I'll have because it's a little bit more decorative and say well to do. A knife that you should all be aware of is my my biltong knife. So a Marmaduke Creations. I can never remember what this is. It's actually called, but if you go on to the Marmaduke website, you will see this type. It's just one of his sort of staple types. Absolutely love this thing, literally just to look at, right? Whilst it does an amazing job of cutting biltong, the Damascus in it, that the pattern in there, and all the different layers. I don't know how well you can see that, but all the layers in the knife, and of course it was done in white because English shooting is white and black. That's the sort of the colours, and of the English shooting Walther PPQ, or the Walther PPQ English shooting edition, was done in white as well, so it's done to match that. And then two very sentimental, sort of now very sentimental knives, and this was caught sort of by chance. This was actually my granddad's old knife. It's absolutely battered. I've had a go at trying to restore one side of it. Spent far too long trying to do that. You can see the other sides haven't gone near it. And then my dad came out with this the other day, and it's literally like a smaller version of it. But he had that knocking about. He's like, look, it's just sat in a drawer. If you've got all your knives out on display, you might as well have that. So I've got granddad's knife and dad's knife. So again, sentimental. It's you try and say to people normally, like, sentimental knives, and most people out in the public will go, how can you be sentimental over knives? But I'm sure, as you guys will sympathize with, Guns. You know, we've talked about it so many times, how you can be sentimental with guns. You know, it's not just about what that object is meant to be doing. It's the memories and the associations you have with that object, who that object was owned or given by, so on and so forth. How about that only guns? Oh, Jesus Christ. Onlyguns.co. Yeah, so I think that's more where my say passion or my interest in knives has come. It's more having knives that have a story to it. You know, just a knife on its own, you know, apart from something, you know, like that has had, you know, hours and hours and hours of work and craftsmanship put into it, that I can appreciate that straight off the bat. I can look at it and go, yeah, that's pretty. That's had a lot of work put into it. But you know, just I don't get the fixation of like going around looking at every type of knife. It's more, it's got to have a story to it, and then and that's how it gets added into my collection. Again, guns, very, very similar. Oh, Jesus Christ. What have you done? So, yeah, okay, right, I'll share that one. That's definitely safe for work. So, as you know, or if you've been following the live stream for the last few weeks, you will probably know that Captain Crack ended up buying the URL onlyguns.co.uk. It's going to be the UK's premier gun porn site eventually. And every week he likes to put a different picture on it. So add it as your homepage, because it is going to it's going to change regularly, and it's always a bit of a surprise what comes up there. And this week we have the absolutely amazing picture of that. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it sort of holds true, because if you're going to talk about the two, say, versions of me, the one in front is definitely the better version. It's definitely prettier. But yeah, so that's literally all credibility I had completely down the toilet. Thank you very much, Captain Crack. Moving on swiftly. How's the lag? How's the video going? Again, I still don't know. Maybe I need to do like a mid-week stream just to sort of test it, make sure it's ready for next week. You change it every Thursday just before or during the stream. How thoughtful. Check the Hall of Fame again. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are you guys doing? It's probably going to kill the internet again. But let's see. You've intrigued me. This Hall of Fame. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm not showing it. I'm not going to encourage you guys. What Ely ammo was it? If it's the good stuff, 10x, it's a lot of money. What are you guys talking about? Swap you for 300,000 rounds of Ely. I was now that we sort of talked about it, I had this. I chickened out at the last minute, because at the end of the day, it's probably a shit thing happening to them at the moment. But anyway, we you know, I was going to say that we've had an exclusive, and I've actually been able to obtain some some CCTV footage of the heist itself. If you know what movie this is from. For those of you that are younger than 20, when did that? Oh shit, that came out in like the 2000s, didn't it? So if you're like younger than 25, you probably have no idea what that film is, which makes me very, very sad. Why are people? Oh, Discord. Oh no, what's going on? It's fine. You can show like 10-second clips of stuff, all right? Loud. Sorry, it wasn't mine. Just turn your volume back. I'm it's off now. Sorry. Actually confused looking at two tapes. So you guys are talking about, we were talking about this earlier. Yes, Arius, the driver was asleep. I was showing the news article. Here comes Callum in the Porsche. Unfortunately, the Porsche doesn't have enough space for 300,000 rounds, but don't think for 1 second I wouldn't fill every crevice of it with ammunition if it was going free. But yes, so the report so far, there's not a lot of information about this 300,000 rounds going missing, but basically it was a lorry leaving Ely, and they stopped for their mandatory break, I would assume, got to sleep in the cab, and the lorry was broken into whilst the driver was asleep, and they made off with 300,000 rounds. It happens, you know. That's why if you're driving late at night or even during the day, you'll see it. If you see a lorry parked up in a lay-by, if they don't have anything in the back, they leave the doors open. And I'm sure anyone that's been driving on the roads for the past few years, you would see that more and more. And it's basically to show to any criminals, like, look, there's no point breaking in here. It's empty. Like, get in the back if you really want. It's just an empty container. Unfortunately, though, if you don't do that and the doors are shut, then that sort of instantly gives an indication that there is obviously stuff inside of there. But obviously, the criminals can do stupid amounts of damage trying to break into places, and you want to avoid them just doing the damage. So open the doors. They can't force anything open. I know there's I had friends that lived in, let's say, not very nice areas. They'd actually leave their cars open at night because they were like, I'm not paying fucking 200 quid to have my window replaced. There's nothing valuable in the car, so they might as well get in the car, have a rummage around, not find anything, and not cause hundreds of pounds worth of damage trying to break in the first place. So yeah, I mean, these sorts of lorry thefts are in a way fairly routine, unfortunately, but it does sound very much like it's a targeted affair. It's a targeted attack, and it's most likely going to be criminal gangs. I hope at the very least that there is a criminal somewhere tonight and they've got a Glock 19 and they're trying to load 2.2 rounds in it, going, fam, they won't fit in the clip, they keep falling out, fam, what's going on? Yes, that is my gangster impersonation. Let's move away from that very quickly. But yeah, or trying to like put it into the chamber and the round just flopping out of the barrel. So yeah, that's all we know about this ammunition theft. I'm sure there will be more information on it soon, as soon as we know. It might have warned us. I've just gone deaf. Sorry. 200 extra powered rabbits were stolen too. That was not mentioned. Rabbits? What do you mean rabbits? 200 extra. Am I really just missing a joke there? Oh, Jesus Christ. No. Like, this is a question I have to ask. Oh no, you can go back, can't you? Oh Jesus. Yeah, don't worry. I've just sort of answered myself. The criminals, when their boss tells them they wanted some 223 and not 22. Well, get a CMMG conversion kit. I mean, you've got 300,000 rounds of it flopping out of the chamber. That is a technical term. I'll have you know, Martin. If your chamber's floppy, you've got a problem. Basically, I can't think of anything witty to say on that one. Anyway, not actually necessarily everyone's favourite organisation, but an organisation that's certainly becoming very popular with shooters at the moment. The NCA. Actually, that's why my internet's slowed. I've been bugged. This is all making sense now. Anyway, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the stream, and it's the lovely fellas of the NCA. I mean, having this as your banner photo, like, all the police now are like, it's an offence to be offensive, and oh, rainbows and unicorns, and oh, we're just here to help everybody. NCA's like, nah fam, we're gonna kick the fuck out of your door at 2 o'clock in the morning and drag you out screaming. That's what that image says. This is the do not fuck with us organisation of the UK. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fuck with them. So we'll we'll see how this one plays out. Anyway, they've taken a bit of a liking, let's just say, to firearms. Now, the NCA, and as it says on that guy's that back there, it's the National Crime Agency. The previous name for them, SOCA, was actually a much more descriptive name, which is the Serious and Organised Crime Agency. I think that was the whole acronym. So these are effectively like the FBI of the UK. They go after, not your street dealers. They go after the people bringing in millions of pounds worth of drugs, bringing in hundreds of guns, the really top level sort of criminals. And you can see that if you go on their Facebook page, you can see, unfortunately, they've been hit with a bit of a scam at the moment. But, here, like, this is serious bloody crime. 1.5 ton of heroin was seized with a joint operation with the Dutch and Belgian law enforcement. Like, way to fucking go. That's 150 million pounds worth of drugs on the street, right? And they've done them. Like, well fucking done. Seriously, this is what we want them to be doing. You've got money mules, bringing awareness of these sort of maybe unknown, the unknown criminality, like the underground criminality of things that you might not realize are going on, and they're trying to bring awareness to it. So again, well good, well done, even well good. Yeah. 1.6 million pounds of cocaine, like, real criminals, real crime, really actually doing something. A money launderer getting his comeuppance. A child sex offender, again, people that are really dangerous to society as a whole, and then they just sort of completely undo it by putting out stuff like this. Yeah, just wait for it. Here it comes. I mean, they do go on about, holiday. Is this a Thomas Cook commercial or something? Time with mates. Yeah, that's what we wish we were all doing now, but we're in lockdown. Love for your mum, or everyone loves their mum, right? Yep. All this, and it's sort of like, what's the bloody message? Get it. Skip it. I can't stand it anymore. It's a live ruin. Firing 1 year's prison. Like, yeah, okay. So what we've learnt here is that, that life has many facets. Shooting someone may really fuck up someone's facet of their life. And of course, if you didn't know, this is breaking news. We're coming live here in the English Shooting studios. It is illegal to possess most firearms without a license in the UK. I mean, maybe this is where I've been going wrong. Unfortunately, now this doesn't show it, but this has now become a paid ad, right? So I guess obviously because of the cookies and search, right? So I guess obviously because of the cookies and search history, no, not that sort of search history, it's identified me of having an interest with guns, and I'm now seeing this bloody advert everywhere I go on Facebook. So the NCA are paying taxpayers' money to send a message that illegal firearms are illegal to possess without a license, right? What is that like, seriously, what is that achieving? Again, when you compare it to, sex offenders getting banged away, you get not like that. That's a really poor choice of words. You know what I mean? 1.6 million pounds worth of drugs being seized, 150 million pounds worth of drugs being seized. Like, that's actually stopping crime. A video telling you that it's illegal to possess a gun without a license. And first of all, it's not a license. We don't, and I know I'm guilty of saying, I've actually said it this evening, I've called it a license. It's unfortunately because of stuff like this that that produces that terminology. We have certificates. We have a firearms certificate and a shotgun certificate. We don't have a shotgun license or a firearms license. And people that like to talk about the Magna Carta and all of that like to say that the reason, how I've had it explained before is that because of rights, previous rights that we've had, you can't license a right. You can only certificate. Previous rights that we've had, you can't license a right. You can only certificate it. But anyway, so first of all, NCA, it is a certificate, not a license. But yes, well, duh. Do you think any criminal is ever going to see this and go, nah, I shouldn't take that illegal gun that I've already, paid £1,000 for and smuggled, that's been smuggled across the UK and that I have to protect myself or to commit crime with? No. Thank you, NCA, for making me aware that this illegal firearm is illegal and that the murder or crime I was going to commit with this illegal firearm is illegal. I had absolutely no idea. It just completely undoes, like, for me, everything else that they're doing. You flick through. I mean, they went on an absolute barrel. It's illegal to possess most firearms without the license in the UK. It's like, how much money is being spent on this, right? Really, and again, I have a lot of respect for this organization. They do a lot of really, really good stuff, but just like show criminals getting arrested for having illegal firearms. Show the firearms they are seizing. Don't make pointless adverts like this. It's anyway, that's it. Just every time I see that advert, I'm going to mention it on the live stream. Anyway, I've had is the stream, has the stream stopped? No, I'm still here. Let's get off. I'm still here, guys. It's really fallen off. I'm having really bad internet this evening. I'm gonna try and close down a few of these tabs. Let's kill Chrome completely and see if that makes any difference at all. Anyway, sorry, I just knocked the mic. We back? I think we're back. Blooming hell, how many ads do we have to suffer during the live stream? Callum must be raking it in. Is there an ad? I really don't. There's not meant to be an ad. Oh dear. YouTube's adding ads. Sorry, guys. I have to look into that. So anyway, stream keeps ending and trying to send me to a Grand Thumb video. Well, I mean, it's sort of maybe it's hinting. I don't know. No ads at all. It's the bloody ads. I honestly don't know. I don't know why there's ads being shown on a live stream. I only thought there was ads on. The thing is, my bloody preview window is frozen up. Let's give this a refresh and see if that brings it. So I can't see when an ad comes up, which is really bloody useful, right? You'd think that it should potentially show me like you're now on an ad break, and at least I can go and have a piss. Stop liking the channel. No, please like the channel. Anyway, it's I don't want that. I'm not here to rake it in with ads. Can I turn that off? I don't know. I don't know if I can edit the stream live. Oh, I'm giving it a go. Right. That I think I've turned it off. Maybe. Again, I've never had the issue before. I don't think that you guys haven't complained. I mean, you guys like to complain, so I'm sure if there were ads stopping you from viewing this clusterfuck of a live stream this evening, you would have told me, or previous evenings. But anyway, the ads are random per person. I don't think they are, Arias, because I just saw like a humongous drop off of viewers. I mean, maybe that's just the live stream this evening, just summarised in its entirety, and it's picked right up. So, just got a questionnaire ad. YouTube, stop it! I don't give you permission to put ads anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Daniel, I'm with you. I mean, yes, it's a way to it's frozen up again. Something really don't know what's going on this week. I'm going to go and kick the router after this live stream. What network am I on? Am I on there? I don't know. I don't know. Is there any? You just got an ad. I don't know what's going on. It's like one every 5 minutes. Oh Jesus! Right, let's see if I can kill it a bit more. Let's off. Let's try that. What's redirect? Select where to redirect viewers. Oh, okay. Enable live chat. Allow live chat to replay. I'm just trying to see if there's any settings actually within the stream. I might know what's causing it. Let me just give that a check. Anyway, I've completely killed monetization on this video now. So if you see an ad, it is purely YouTube being greedy fuckers. Stream settings. What did I have it? No, I've got it on normal latency. So maybe it was on high. I wonder if the video of this live stream will be fucked up as well. Probably. Unfortunately, I don't know. I think pretty much what you're seeing is what gets captured. ES has been hacked, potentially. I don't know. I'll just sit here and have my beer and try and give as little fucks as possible. No, if I was busting for a cheeky cash top up, I'd be asking you to donate in the chat. Anyway, it all goes back into the channel, so I don't know what you're complaining about. It's not, it's not like I'm going out and buying Porsches or anything. Anyway, it all goes back into the channel, so I don't know what you're complaining about. Moving on. Seriously, and I this is 100% genuine. I've said it from day one, and I will continue to do it. Or if anything changes, you guys will be the first to know. Every single penny that comes through the channel, through donations, Patreon, through ad revenue as well, all gets put back into the channel. And I would still say Patreon, through ad revenue as well, even though the ad revenue increases as the channel gets bigger, the donations as well will certainly over the first lockdown were absolutely ridiculous. That's why, well, usually I'm in glorious 4K, although my internet connection is slightly stifling that this evening because you guys donated so much to be able to buy a new camera. But if I tot up all the money that has been spent on camera gear, and just shooting, just paying for ammunition to go and review a gun, okay, I get a slight benefit out of that. I'm still out of pocket, so everything gets put, it sort of subsidizes the running of the channel rather than paid for. Yay to ye, thank you. Oh, it's not just, maybe I can get a few tins of baked beans this week. English shooting OnlyFans when? Would you got if there's going to be enough people that are going to spend a bloody tenner signing up to the English Shooting OnlyFans, I will do it. I mean, maybe I just, screw magload, screw making videos every week. I'll just post seductive nudes of me and guns. Who would you like to see co-star with me? Maybe Smerald, maybe Connors, maybe, I don't know. There's loads of people that could join me on English Shooting Only Guns or OnlyFans. But yeah, thank you very much. Callum, have you seen the Finnish brutality? Yes. It's been put out for people to try on YouTube. Looks interesting. What do you mean try on YouTube? Maybe you Johnny from TGS. Oh dear. I'd have to get him a gun with wood stock, with a wooden stock. If I give him anything polymer, he may come out in hives. But yeah, no, I like Johnny. $9.99. The Discord. Oh Jesus Christ. That's a very good point. Maybe this is. Oh, I think I've just had a monumentally good idea, and it doesn't happen very often. Why don't oh no, they just kick you off the site. It's not the biggest. Why don't we collectively as a community make a duped Oni gun, an OnlyFans, right? So we get all of us, we get like all the regulars, like Smerrill, we get Connors, we get myself, we get some seductive photos made or taken, and then we use the apps, the filters, to turn us in all to girls, and put that on the OnlyFans, and see how many people sign up thinking it's a load of girls with guns. This might be the best idea I've ever had. And technically speaking, you don't have to post nudes on OnlyFans. Yeah, well, in for a penny, in for a pound, right? Like, I'm not going to do it half-hearted. Yeah, maybe 19.99. They can play with hawk scopes. Is that not borderline illegal? Not if it's us that are... Not if it's, like, originally us and we're having them photoshopped. Like, because people pay for, like, anime, right? People pay for hentai, right? That's not real, you know? I know to some people it is. I don't mean to offend you, Daniel, but they, you know, you are, it's us that is being, you know, edited, you know. So if we're giving permission to be portrayed online as women, I can't. Callum's Angels. Oh, yes. Someone go create that account right now. Peter, let people know that Bisley is taking bookings for March 29th. Cool. Well, I just did. There we go. Bisley's open 29th. I'm still, like, I know everyone's getting straight into it. I'm gonna wait until there's a little bit there's a little bit more certainty. We know what Boris has been like. Whether or not things are going to happen. Although saying that, actually, on that note, we have made some pretty big plans, and actually involves Arius, Daniel, myself, and Connors. No, this isn't OnlyFans, not yet. Anyway, we have now, I believe, unless Arius didn't do it in the end, we have now booked our tickets to America for the American shooting trips, Kentucky trip. Over in Kentucky in October, and so that's a bit of a gamble, I guess, because you don't know. I mean, it's sort of long enough, but to be honest, when the trip last April got cancelled, we were like, oh, by October it will be fine. Yeah, fine. But we are feeling very optimistic about October going ahead. And it's not just the shooting trip, so this is now sort of getting cast in stone, COVID dependent, but we have booked tickets to fly out. So Connors, Daniel, and I are flying out, I think, 10 days prior to the trip, and Aris is joining us midway around this trip. So we're flying out to Chicago. We're going to go across to Iowa. We're going to come down. I don't know if we're going to go maybe as far as Colorado, but we may come down Colorado, New Mexico, or come down, I don't know what's sort of further east. I don't know what's next to Colorado. Come down, I don't know what's sort of further east. I don't know what's next to Colorado, actually, but we might come through that into Texas. We're going to end up in Texas because that's where we're picking up Arius. So if we don't end up in Texas, Arius is fucked. Pretty much. So we're going to go across, go left from Chicago, then down into Texas, pick up Arius, and then we're going to go across all of the South. I've been very kindly invited. Actually, the guys don't know this already, so this is going to be a bit of a surprise for them. We've been invited to a place in Alabama, so Birmingham, Alabama. To an ammunition manufacturers, and they've basically said, we want you to come and shoot our stuff. So we've got a load of guns, we've got a fuck ton of ammunition, and they actually sent me, I don't know if he's going to mind me showing this, but I will. I mean, he sent it to me. I don't think it gives away too much, but let me save. Come on, save. Here we go. desktop. So it's not. I'm going to give them a shout out actually, because they've sent me a picture of their stuff. So any American viewers watching, the offers that these guys have made already, you know, and I've been really apologetic in terms of not being able to make it out there so far, obviously because of COVID. But they've been like, yeah, no worries. Whenever you're here, let us know. We'd love to have you. Let me. I'm trying to. I've lost the bloody photo now. I saved it to my desktop and now it's disappeared into oblivion. Now there it is. Right, so let's get this up. I'm trying really hard. Here we go. Let's get these two up. So the company is called Callaway Ballistics. Let's get this over here. So this is their shop or their workspace. I think this is only like a snippet of it, but you can see all of those freedom seeds. Oh, and this was only taken, I think, a couple of weeks ago. So obviously there is a massive shortage in America of ammunition. Not if you run an ammunition company, by the sounds of it. So they've very, very kindly invited us there. And then this is the company. So, you know, just from how kind they've been so far, then it is remanufactured stuff. So this is actually very similar to. There's a video now. The video is actually meant to be an English shooting video, but it ended up going out on Gunroom TV, and then ended up getting 1 million views. Just sort of pissed me off. But this was during the English shooting shutdown, and anyway, so there's a video on Gunroom TV. It's the most watched video on Gunroom TV, and it's of a remanufactured ammunition. So it's ammunition recycling. So it's green, right? It's green and eco and save the world. But basically they recondition the ammunition. It's still made to the same specifications. It's for all intents and purposes just as good as factory ammunition, but obviously a lot cheaper. And at the moment, when ammunition's so hard to get hold of, you know, these guys are just absolutely pumping it out. So we will be stopping off here in Birmingham, Alabama, and then we'll be carrying on to right up until, so we'll be going across the whole of the South, then up to North Carolina, and then we'll be coming across through Tennessee, then finally to Kentucky. So, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to visit a good amount of the states, you know, from Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, California, New York, Florida. I think that's like actually out of like 52 states, it's not a huge amount, right? But a reasonable spread of sort of, you know, city and sort of countryside out there. But this is going to be like nothing I've ever experienced. Certainly, this trip is there's actually a really like prominent business and sort of commercial aspect to the trip, but we're going to try and make it as fun as possible. So going to all these states. Actually, let's get up a map, and I don't know why I'm trying to describe it. I'll just get up Google Maps. Hopefully it doesn't kill the internet connection. I will have it sorted. I honestly thought it had been sorted, this internet connection malarkey, but I will make sure that it is it's sorted for next week. So again, apologies for that. So it's very much like a tour of the East. You're not going to be able to see the mouse, which is really fantastic, but let's bring this up. So the trip. So, and again, I'll be videoing this. That we've had loads of offers. The biggest one is this ammunition manufacturer, but we've had loads and loads of offers of all around the states to go and visit and shoot guns. Like there was one guy with a class 3, and he was pretty much any machine gun you've ever want to shoot, let me know and we'll hook you up. Unfortunately, I think he's like Washington, so we won't be able to do that. So we're flying into Chicago. We're going to come across to Iowa. I think it's Iowa where our first stop needs to be. It might even be up in Minnesota. But anyway, we're coming left. And then the plan is it's to head down. I think we're going to head down as far as San Antonio. So we could either come further west like right across to Denver, down through Colorado, down through Albuquerque. It would be good to do the Breaking Bad trip. When I was in Roswell a few years ago, I really wanted to drive to Albuquerque and do it. I ended up on the range instead, because, you know, Breaking Bad or going to an American gun range. So we might go to Denver, down through New Mexico, and then into Texas to San Antonio, or we may actually from Iowa just come straight down, either come through Missouri or maybe go through Kansas, most likely through Oklahoma, and then down to San Antonio. We're going to be then picking Arias up from Dallas, and then we're going to be heading east. So we're going to be going through, you know, Louisiana, Mississippi, stopping off obviously at Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then we're going to come up and sort of do from North Carolina, then head over to Tennessee. So then we're going to come west again, and then we're through Tennessee, and then it's like Lexington or Louisville is around the area. It's around that sort of part of Kentucky. So yeah, probably we'll probably drive to Nashville, because again, it's like famous American city, and then head up to Kentucky. And then we've got a few days after the trip. So whilst a lot of people are doing the drive to Kentucky to from Chicago to Kentucky in one go, we've got a few days afterwards. So I think we're actually going to head out up to Indiana, and then Illinois a bit more, and then Chicago, and sort of take our time. So it's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to share as much of it as I can. It's going to be hectic, you know, because we're going to be doing a lot of traveling. I think I've worked it out, like, to keep on schedule, we need to be doing 3 to 4 hours of driving per day. So, you know, it sounds a lot, but in America, doing a 2-hour drive is like nothing, because we're going to get a huge car. It's going to be just highway cruising. And okay, for the first leg of the journey, for the first, I think, 5 days, it's just the 3 of us. But doing 3 to 4 hours worth of driving per day between 3 people is really nothing. And we're split it up. We'll probably end up doing an hour or 2 in the morning, and then an hour and 2 in the evening. So we break it up. We get to spend, you know, at least like a good 12 hours at every place that we go to, and really like take it in, really enjoy it. The last thing I want to be doing is like just tearing through these places. I want to be able to stop and have some, you know, spend some time. And especially when we've got invites to go to the range, you know, I'd like to stop there for maybe a day, maybe 2, really soak it in, take those guys out for a meal after, you know, they've given us a day on the range. So yes. Are you all sleeping in a van? No, unless it's just added content for the OnlyFans. We're going to be getting motels. I mean, it's going to be probably pretty budget, because and I don't know. Well, I'll be speaking to the other guys doing it. But I will. Yeah, it depends what the other guys want to do, but I'm pretty tempted. Like, we've got our accommodation. I showed it a couple of weeks ago on the stream. We've got our accommodation sorted for Kentucky. We've now booked our flights. We'll be booking the car very soon. Everything else, I'm happy to just sort of wing it. You know, it's sort of the great thing about America is that if you just keep on driving, you will eventually find a motel. You will eventually find a hotel to stay in. And we just, you know, camp up. We just need a bed for, you know, 6-7 hours, get some sleep, and then we'll be carrying on. You know, it doesn't matter if the motel is in the middle of nowhere, because we're going to be getting up in the morning and instantly hightailing it out there. So yeah, it should be good. Would love to see Callum's handsome face on Demolition Ranch. I don't think the channel's big enough for him to be interested. But yeah, I mean, I will, just because an email doesn't cost anything. I am gonna email some YouTubers out there and say, like, look, we're gonna be your way. It'd be great to, you know, talk about the differences between the UK and America. Oh, Big Daddy Carl's here. Hello, Carl. Thanks for joining. I guess you're on lates this evening, but thanks for dropping by. But yeah, I mean, this talking about sort of the American English sort of meetups. There was a guy like Iraq veteran 8888. He did a video with this Brit, and he was like, "Oh, we've got a bona fide Brit here to tell us everything we need to know. And it was like the guy had lived in America for like 10-15 years, and he started like saying, oh, this is what it's like, and this is what we can own, and this is the sort of disciplines that people do. And I'm going like, yeah, maybe like 20 years ago, and it was quite obvious that the guy didn't have like a I don't think like really a modern understanding of what it was like to be a gun owner or a shooter within the UK. So so yeah, it would be good to like meet up with these like huge channels and just talk about what the crack is here in the UK, what the actual processes are, and what happens when you have your certificates taken away, or you know. And then I mean, what would be really cool is to have some competitions, because you know, maybe not so much Arius and Dan, but you know, with Connors and I there's going to be at least 2 decent shooters that can show them what we're capable of. Ezra, more the merrier. You're more than welcome to join us. I believe there are a few spaces left on the trip, and yeah, so get in contact with David Kiddle or American Shooting Trips. Drop them a message. I think it's just American Shooting Trips shits. Maybe there's gonna be a lot of me. There's it's either americanshootingtrips.com or americanshootingtrips.co.uk. Go and check it out. And actually, it's just reminded me, because this is a genuine English shooting exclusive, right? This doesn't happen very often, right? But there's going to be another shooting show this year. Yes, because I love my shooting shows, and obviously Northern Shooting Show and British Shooting Show are cancelled. There is of course still going to be the Target Shooting Show, which I absolutely love. Where Magload will be there, I'll be there, Connors will be there, everyone will hopefully be there. But there's this is completely new for this year, and it's called the Modern Shooting Show. And the sort of headline info at the moment is it's and this is booked. The organizer signed everything over today, and I believe it's sort of like set in stone now. This is 100% happening. It's booked for the 26th of June. It's one day only, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's going to be at the Newbury Racecourse, and it's only £5 per ticket, and you get a patch. You get a limited edition custom patch, which I believe Arius knows a lot about, and it's free for under 17s. So speaking with the organizer, well, you can sort of guess when you go onto the website who the organizer might be. 2 photos from Caliber Innovations there. So it's the team, it's the guys behind Caliber Innovations. Also a lot of the guys obviously behind Kentucky Firearms Club, behind American Shooting Trips as well. So you know, a bunch of guys that I know very, very well and do a lot with. Obviously Kentucky Firearms Club is my home office approved club. I go on pretty much every American Shooting Trips trip that I will that they allow me on. So you know, I like their style, I like what they do, they're doing. They've got a charity involved, which is fantastic. And yeah, 100%, we have already signed up. So I think, you know, the website, it probably will change slightly, but you can see like the only 2 companies there, obviously Caliber Innovations and Magload. We've said 100% we will be there. So very much looking forward to it. There's not a lot more on the website at the moment, but you'll be able to buy tickets very soon. I believe tickets are going live next week. So you'll be able to, it's a second show, guys. And what they're saying to me is that it's very important that they don't price people out. So they're I'm not going to talk about how much stands actually are, but they're very cheap compared to compared to the British Shooting Show. But then, you know, it's at the NEC, it's a huge event. You're talking a lot of money to exhibit at these shows, and unfortunately that stops a lot of the cottage industries, the smaller industries. Now I know for a fact that the Northern Shooting Show does a fantastic job of offering severely discounted or free stands for certain businesses, for certainly clubs and organizations, as does the Target Shooting Show. I believe for organizations and clubs, the British Shooting Show do. But this, from what I understand, from what all of the other shows cost, this is going to be the cheapest show for people to exhibit at and also attend. So newbie racecourse, luckily for us, it's reasonably down south. There's absolutely no reason for us not to go. So we will be there. Again, it's the 26th of June. So very much looking forward to it. Once tickets go live, I'll talk about this next week and probably obviously into the run up of it. When there is a little bit more information, when tickets are live, I will let all of you guys know so you can go and grab your tickets. And yeah, hopefully I'll meet you guys there and see all of you guys there. So yes, Daniel S, I am happy to not lend you my US kit. It's fine because I've already got my kit sorted, mate. Yes, I did just splash beer up my nose. Brutal. Arias, I have more medals than you. Yeah, but at least my medals are with real guns. Meow. So Dan and I will enjoy our own competition, thank you. Yes, in the amateur division. Want me to continue? Hickok 45 is in Tennessee. Oh, okay. So I mean, the one I would love, like obviously the big guys like Iraq Veteran, 8888, Hickok 45, Demolition Ranch, Coley on the War. Would love to meet up with him because he's like, his style of politics and his style of presenting politics, I think, is fantastic. There's a lot of things I try to mirror with what he does. He's just a little bit cooler than I am, but it'd be great to go up and meet up with him as well. Donut Operator would be great to go and meet up with him as well. I watch all of his videos. Borrowing a shit box of an Anderson is not your kit. No, not an Anderson, mate. You'll have to see. Link the website. I can't find it. I just like to find it myself. I literally just googled modern shooting show. But here you go. Here is the link. Oh Jesus Christ, Discord. Oh Jesus Christ. What is going on? I've just slipped into Discord. What is going on? Yeah, anyway, I'll have to deal with that after the stream. Let's have a look. There you go. That's the modern shooting show. So that's the link. That's what you can go and see. Do you want to try out some Helicon kit, Dan? Probably not. If you know that Dan has taste. Hickok 45 and Demolition Ranch do nothing to support gun rights. See, I get people's disgruntlement with that, right? But they're not. Neither Demolition Ranch or Hickok 45 ever got into YouTube for political reasons, for activism, or for, you know, just for politics, right? Like, certainly Demolition Ranch is there to be entertaining, right? It is an entertainment channel. It's not particularly educational. There are certainly elements to it. It's not particularly factual, although again there are elements to it. You know, Hickok 45, you know, he does like casual reviews, you know, but they're both entertainment videos, right? And I think it's a little bit unfair, like getting yourself tied up in politics and getting involved in politics. That's another realm, right? Like it's painful, you know, because people are always going to disagree with you. No matter how right or wrong you are, there's always going to be people that disagree with you. You are always going to get flack. You always run the risk of saying the wrong thing, having the wrong opinion, offending the wrong person. And I completely understand if those guys are like, I don't want to deal with that. I just want to have my fun, and I want to I want to enjoy it, and I want people to be entertained. And on the flip side, how many people have got into shooting, or how many people have got into shooting, into firearms ownership in the States, and then themselves have got into politics because of Hickok 45 and because of Demolition Ranch? You can't like I was saying with Callum Noir, it's very political with a little bit of cars, gun reviews, range, and all that. But it's mostly politics. Some people just don't want to watch it, right? Look at the firearms blog, right? They are purely about non-politics. They don't want anything to do with it. They just want to stick to the guns, right? Because some people don't want, you know, as viewers, as subscribers, as audiences, they don't want the politics, right? There's a lot of people that, you know, won't subscribe to this channel or won't watch these videos or live streams because I talk about politics, because I get political at points, right? And I can completely understand why they just want to keep to the entertainment, right? We have people, well, I say we, in America, you have people like Callum Noir, you know, you have people, well, I know Iraq veteran 8888 has had a reasonable amount of flack over the years with it, but they do get political at points. And, you know, Donut Operator, he gets political and will approach subjects that like no one else will go into. So there are people that are doing it, but the fundamental basis of Demolition Ranch and they've got 45 channels are not there to be political. They're there to show fun, interesting, entertaining videos. They just happen to involve guns. So I just think it's maybe a little bit of an unfair expectation. Obviously, if they came out tomorrow and go, all guns should be banned, I can understand people getting a bit arsey for that. They owe us absolutely nothing. I you know, I get that. And, you know, absolutely. You know, if you've gone and bought a Demolition Ranch t-shirt thinking that you are in some way funding some giant political campaign, I don't know where you've got that impression, right? It's a business. It's a business and an entertainment channel. He doesn't even try to hide it, you know. The bunker branding is well known of being one of the in that, you know, area of YouTube is being like the Mac Daddy of businesses for YouTube businesses. Everyone knows it. Like, he's there to make money, to make some entertaining content and run a successful business, you know. So, you know, whereas I think it would be a fairer expectation if something happened in the UK and this channel didn't talk about it or didn't, because as subscribers, as viewers, this channel has always been quite political. It's always been looking at, you know, sensitive, controversial issues. That's sort of what you expect watching these live streams, watching these videos. So I would say for myself to keep quiet on an issue, that's going to be, I think, more. There's more of an expectation for me to be a little bit more political than, say, like Rack and Load, right? Neil occasionally on very big issues will get stuck in, right, when he really feels like that he can make a difference, but otherwise he doesn't, and he says it all the time, right? He's like, I'm not interested in it. He doesn't want the hassle, right? He doesn't want to upset anyone. He just wants to make, you know, entertaining, nice videos, you know. So he sort of leaves it to the other guys, you know, like when Sam from SRS Power, when he was making videos, he's having a bit of a hiatus at the moment. Of you know, he was very political, and Neil was like, cool, that's your thing, you know, that's what you enjoy doing, that's what you feel you're adding benefit to. I just like reviewing guns, I just like shooting guns, and that's all I want to do, and that's fair enough, you know. And I will recommend Neil to anyone. Absolute top bloke. I wouldn't expect him to suddenly start getting political, because that's not what he's interested in. That's not what he wants to provide to his audience. I thought this channel was satire. Oh, Jesus Christ. Big Sleep. Both have mind-numbing YouTube channels. They produce content you can fall asleep to. Who? What? Which ones? It's more about the dollars than rights. Yes. But... oh, that's better. Absolutely, right? But they're running them as businesses, and they make no bones about it. Like, everyone knows Hickok 45 is paid ridiculous amounts of money to shoot a gun. You know, just he's not given guns. He's paid to shoot them, right? And again, people like to get on their high. I'm not saying, Daniel, you're getting on your high horse about it. You're just simply stating facts. I call bullshit straight away to any of you if a firearms manufacturer said, we're going to give you 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and we're going to pay you £5,000 to make a video, to make a 5-minute video with a gun, none of you would turn that down, would you? Right? It just wouldn't happen. So why should the rules be different for them? Should they be absolutely clear and make it abundantly clear what is going on with that relationship? Absolutely. It should be 100% transparent. And that's what I do with any affiliation or any partnership that I have. You know what the crack is. I don't hide anything. You all know that I have an interest in Magload. You know that I work with Connors on Magload. So when I'm telling you guys about Magload products, it's, you can decide what's going on. I hope that you think it's genuine enough that I'm not just trying to sell you shit, or we're just not trying to sell you shit, because we generally not. We spend a lot of time making sure it's the best stuff. But it's about having transparency so you can still make your own decision on it. On that note, the Magload 2-part belt is available on magload.co.uk if you're interested. And Connors did decide to call it the Stiffy. Yeah, so if you want a Stiffy, go on to magload.co.uk. You can get all sizes of different Stiffies. At the moment, it is just black Stiffies available. I think the biggest Stiffy you can buy is a total length of 174 centimeters. So you're talking a 1.74 meter Stiffy, black. Like, that's a big Stiffy, right? So anyway, that's the plug-in done. Buy a Stiffy today. Where were we? So yeah, I guess the best example would be like custom fit guards, right? I make it clear that they give me all of the hearing protection, right? But I could quite easily go and get free pairs elsewhere. But I genuinely really like Richard. I love what he's doing with the company. I like his ethos. I like where he's come from. And actually, on that note, I've been meaning to drop him a message. I'll probably do it after the stream now. But they've just moved premises. So you might remember when I got my first set of plugs from him. It was this sort of little office, I think at his parents' house. And then he moved to the next place where the latest video of me having some plugs done, that's where that was filmed, and that place was like at least 4 times, maybe even 5 or 6 times the size of his first office, his first space. And now he has like a huge unit. So it's amazing to see where he's come from with that, and I genuinely want to support him with it. But again, if I'm telling you about a product and it's custom fit guards, I want you to be aware that I've got them for free, but again, I wouldn't be using them. I wouldn't be using hearing protection that I didn't think was up to the job just because it was a free pair, So anyway, that's it's about transparency overall, and I don't think there's anything wrong with people treating YouTube as a business, making money off of views, making money off of merchandise, as long as they're transparent about it. But again, the overall point was, I don't think just because someone's a gun YouTuber, they have an obligation to instantly be political or to instantly, stand up. Again, how many people watch those channels that aren't into shooting, that aren't into the politics, but only watch those channels because they're not political? So it swings and roundabouts. Oh, you guys, you've caught up on the Stiffies, have you? Oh, the concurrent viewers has just plummeted. People obviously don't like big black Stiffies. Maybe they're racist. I don't know. Treat it as a business, but at least be honest. You're in it for the money and not for the politics. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I'm in it for a little bit of both. I've always said if I could end up turning English shooting into a full-time career, and I could end up buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis and, going on 5 holidays a year off the channel, again, I would. But I'd be honest about it. I would tell you what's going on. I would tell you when companies have paid. To date, no one has. But the contact details are in the description below if you want to, you know, talk, because, you know, bills do need to be paid. I missed something stiffy. Yes, I'll bring it up. I'll bring the stiffy up on the screen for you. There we go. I know you all want to see the black stiffy. Prepare yourselves. And I can say that the number one, not Arius, Mr. is the stiffest stiffy he's ever felt. So I mean, I have it on good authority that he knows what he's talking about. So here we go. This is the stiffy, and if you haven't got it stiff, I actually have. Do I have one? I think I might have a stiffy right now. Oh, there we go. I've got a good grasp on the stiffy now. But anyway, this is it. This is the stiffy. It's a 2-part IPSC belt, made exactly to Magloads specifications. And I'll show you the real thing in a minute. But the photos are pretty nice, so I thought I'd show you the photos. Although that doesn't really work because it's going down there. Anyway, so yeah, it's a 2-part IPSC belt. If you're doing rifle, pistol, or open division in shotgun, then you need one of these. There's a few people that make them, and one of the biggest complaints that people have is that they're not stiff enough. They don't hold the equipment well, and it starts to go. The belt goes floppy. So that's why we've called it the stiffy, because it's stiff. I think that's pretty clear now, right? And I've actually got one here. This is actually a prototype stiffy, I think. Yes. So the production ones actually have a piece of Velcro on just probably about that wide on the front, and that's so you can put a patch. Oh, on that note, EnglishShooting patches have just been ordered. I've got some more patches coming, so a bit of merch on its way. So yeah, you've got a little bit of Velcro on the front of the production ones so that you can put your own patches. You can actually attach a Nexus, a Velcroed Nexus Pro on the belt as well. Or you can use stuff like Tetlocks or Click. So if you don't know, this is Magloads' own belt clip system. So that's on there. And what this belt does come with is a belt buckle retainer. And what this does is, so if you've got the belt on, the only way to get the belt off is to obviously pull apart the Velcro like that. It's gonna, sorry headphone users. So obviously if you're shooting and it starts to come apart and comes off, everything's going to go floppy, your belt might fall off, it could be an absolute disaster. So what they usually do is make these sort of elastic Velcro like security fasteners that go over. Now they do the job, but Connors took it one step further and actually designed a purpose-made buckle. So what ends up happening is you put the belt on like that and you slide the buckle over it, and there we go. That's it in place. Now what that enables, it means that as much as you want to pull that, the belt is not coming off. It is absolutely solid. And we're talking about how stiff it is. Well, that's, you know, if you imagine you've got your holster on there, it's about how much it doesn't flex. Now you're going to have belt buckles all around there. It's a bloody stiff belt. And again, we've been told, everyone that's got their hands on it have said it's the stiffest belt that they've used. So we called it the stiffy. So yeah, buy a stiffy today. Any comments on the Canadian C21 bill? No. I'll do a little bit of research after the stream, but at the moment I'm not actually that clued up. A premature stiffy. You can never have a premature stiffy. It's just a wasted opportunity. Do you do them in 2 variable sizes, summer and winter? There's actually a lot of adjustment on them. Let's show you the sizes. So there was a certain certain person that is regularly on the channel that was very disappointed that we didn't call them I think slim, chunky, and thick. But those are the sizes. So you can see we've got like a good selection, a good buffer. So the first number, the centimeter number, is the length of the belt basically, and then what that shows you on the right is what that will fit. So it is your jean size. So you know, like I'm a 32 waist. You know, I'd probably go for the 21. Well, I say 32, I'm probably about 34 at the moment. But you can see we offer all the sizes, so from 26 inch to 63 inch waist. You'll be able to find a belt. And again, I'll show you the patch because again, that one didn't have it. So there you go, a little bit of Velcro on the front there. So you can, it comes with a Magload PVC patch. We would love it if you kept that on there, but you can take it off, put whatever patches you want. And again, you can see the buckle maybe a little bit better there, and it comes with a buckle as well. So in stock, ready to ship. But of course, for transparency, I am obviously heavy affiliated with Magload. So yeah, but if you want to support the channel and you want to get some cool gear, then you can hit up Magload. You're supporting myself and Connors. The NEC, someone's just sharing a link. No, it won't let me approve that, unfortunately. I don't know why. This lag is impressive. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's doing it. I honestly don't. But anyway. Buy from Maglo today and get the stiffiest stiffy you've ever had. Well, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, we always aim to please. Swap the 3 and the 4 around. Fuck you. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, wounded. He keeps saying it. Why does he keep saying it? This is called marketing. Because I swear, as you all drift to sleep tonight, all you'll be thinking about is my stiffy. There we go. I said it. Someone just ordered a stiffy. Yes, someone has. Oh, someone's getting a right good stiffy in the post. This is anyway, I'm just about losing the rest of my sanity. But yeah, so I think that's all about it this evening. I've done my contractual plugging, so Connors doesn't beat me with his stiffy tomorrow. See, you'll never know exactly what we're talking about ever again. So this is brilliant. This will probably be a recurring theme. But yeah, anyway, I'm probably going to wrap it up there. I am really sorry, guys, about the lag and the quality this evening. It's you know, I'll have a play around. You might see me playing, like just popping up on random streams, having a bit of a play. It might be that the router's moved or needs resetting here, but I'll look into it and I'll make sure that it's better for next week. But I really appreciate that you've stuck through it this long. It's been a funny one. I'm going to be also, if Captain Crack, if you're still here, if you've been able to make it through this long, then please put the Discord link in before we all leave. So I'm going to go for a wee, get a quick drink, and then I'll be on the Discords and see what sort of carnage is going on there. I can only imagine. But there, yeah, before you all go, hit the like button, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I swear it won't be about talking about stiffies and crap audio and crap video. Next week, well, hopefully not. What am I saying? Of course there will be. But yeah, really appreciate it. Really enjoyed it. I'll see you all in the Discord. Thanks for watching. It's been a good one. And as always, guys, hope to see you soon.